Calm and quiet. That was the mood on campus when we first arrived. We saw about 50 protesters sitting on tarps in the area known as the Stoller Steps at Stony Brook University. Students were just hanging out, listening on headphones and doing work.
I believe that every student, every person in this country has a right, every person in the world has a right to protest.
Some protests at other college campuses like UCLA and Columbia turned violent.
All I can say is that I do hope that the university does not follow in the footsteps of the academic institutions that have quite literally called riot police on their protesters and on their students.
We interviewed one of the student organizers.
Basically, every activist that we now honor was once considered violent and radical.
Ricketteau, R-I-C-K-G-A-T-T-E-A-U.
We asked Stony Brook officials if they had any concerns about that happening here.
I don't want to predict anything other than to say that my belief is that our students will follow the rules. As we've done in other cases, if a student doesn't follow the rules, there are consequences for those decisions.
Protesters started pitching tents. The police stepped in immediately.
We will not stop, we will not rest this close. We will not stop, we will not rest this close. Like that. We will not stop, we will not rest this close. Like that. We will not stop, we will not rest this close. Like that. We will not stop, we will not rest this close. Like that. Shame on you. Shame on you. Shame on you.
Protesters are clashing with university police on day 2 of their demonstration. Sherry Einhorn reports from the scene.
What had been a peaceful protest suddenly took a turn just a few minutes ago. Remember the VP who told us he believed students would follow the rules? I tried to get him to respond to that clash between protesters and police over the tents.
Not right now.
We saw him speaking with a group of protesters. He was giving them a 5-minute warning.
Administration is threatening us with serious conduct consequences, whatever that means, for our demonstration today, for our free assembly that we're engaging in. Administration is trying to crack down on us, and they're trying to threaten us, they're trying to intimidate us right now, and I don't believe that's fair. We will not stop, we will not rest this close.
30 minutes later, another warning.
Attention students, because you have chosen not to take down the tent, you have 5 minutes to disperse. Failure to disperse will result in student conduct. Please begin to disperse. You have 5 minutes to disperse.
The VP then said something to the organizers in the middle of the circle.
I was just suspended, and so is my vice president. Shame on you.
I tried to get the attention of the organizer who had just announced that she was suspended, but I was waved off by another protester.
Wait, I can't walk? We see who you're fighting for. Pig, oink, oink.
Things then seemed to escalate, with this protester blocking a Newsday photographer from taking pictures. University police got involved.
You can't block his walkway. That's all I'm telling you.
We will not stop, we will not rest.
Then this protester threatened to knock my phone out of my hand for taking video of her. Again, university police stepped in. I again tried to speak with the student who had said she was suspended. We're from Newsday. I'm hoping I can grab you. No? Looks like organizers were preparing for a long night ahead, as our photographer was still getting confronted by that same protester as before.
Free Palestine! Free Palestine!
A little after 7, we saw university officials handing out letters. Some protesters crumpled them up immediately.
What does that letter say?
Others read them carefully.
That they want to remove all students by 11 p.m. tonight.
So we have communicated in that same letter that went out to students around 7 o'clock tonight that if they do not leave at 11 o'clock this evening, they will be subject to arrest and also referral to our community standards area of the university.
And when you say 11 o'clock, is that a hard 11 o'clock deadline?
It is a hard 11 o'clock deadline that we will enforce.
It is now past the 11 p.m. deadline imposed by Stony Brook University officials.
You are congregating in a public space and refusing to disperse a lawful order.
More warnings well after the 11 p.m. deadline. We did see many of the protesters leave the area known as the Stoller Steps, as they were told to.
Everybody clear it out!
Then, police pushed everyone back.
Let's get arrested. Somebody's getting arrested.
The first arrests that we saw happened just before midnight.
Come on, you. Next
Let's go! You're gonna get arrested if you don't leave.
Several others followed. The group of protesters who had stayed on the grass past the 11 p.m. deadline suddenly ran up and formed a line, linking their arms and refusing to budge. It is now 12:06, and we just had a large contingent of law enforcement arrive on campus. Watch behind you, watch behind you. Watch behind you. Police then told all media to move to another spot, they claimed for safety reasons. That line of protesters that formed at the top of the Stoller Steps after the deadline, they were arrested one by one. The rest of the protesters were pushed back between the psych building and the library. Take a look behind me. All you can pretty much see is yellow caution tape. That's because University Police, Suffolk County Police, New York State Troopers cleared all of the protesters from the Stoller Steps where they've been for 2 days, and then from the 2 additional areas where they dispersed once police told them they had to leave the area or risk being arrested. By early Thursday morning, things had quieted down and seemed pretty much back to normal.
I feel like it's not really fair because we're not being able to have our freedom of speech without facing a consequence of possibly being kicked out of the school.
Just pass it over.